接下来听一场演讲，我们邀请到 Intel 亚太区的总监。Intel 在物联网这个领域起步的很早，所以现在在物联网这个领域已经是领导品牌。那去年年底呢 ，Intel 跟华硕针对云端资料的差异化存取服务也开始了合作，一起去寻求存取的最佳化表现。所以今天我们很荣幸的请到 Intel 的长官来跟我们分享 Intel 对于物联网的观点。我们请到这位贵宾，待会大家就看到他非常年轻，而且形象非常的清新啊。他是美国人，但是现在是住在台湾。他在台湾已经住了1年半了，中文进步神速啊。所以 Intel 同事刚才在旁边跟我说哈，我们在他面前都不敢随便用中文开玩笑，他都听得懂啊。他待会要跟我们来分享一下他对物联网的看法。So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Director, Embedded Sales Group, Intel, Asia Pacific, Japan, Mr. Steen Grant.
大家好。早安，午安。他说的我中文很好，我觉得不好，所以我说台语可以 ？No, I'm just. 大家好。Hey, it's really an exciting time. And we're in the midst of a radical change in the world today, particularly in the technology industry. But I want to take you guys back, because what's happening right now is we're moving from a world of computers to computing woven into the fabric of everything we do. Every industry, every vertical, every marketplace. It's truly an exciting time. If you look at this slide and this picture here, we're just at the dawn. We're just at the beginning of this new economic narrative, this new opportunity set in front of us. And this dawn is for really this third industrial transformation. The first, when steam and coal powered railways leading to mass transportation. This is about the time, 1760s, was about the time that Benjamin Franklin proved static electricity was the same thing as lightning. Then we moved to oil, the combustion engine, highways, about the time Edison created the light bulb, and thereafter the first power station. But just now, it was the 1950s when the integrated circuit was created by Noyce and Kilby. But not until today have we got Moore's law to drive the cost of computing to where we have the potential to weave it into the fabric of everything we do and make everything smarter. This is going to result in transformations in businesses, but also enriching the lives of everyone on Earth. The rate of change will occur at light speed. This slide, it says, if the internet were a movie, we would just be in the opening credits. The movie would just be beginning. The transformations are tremendous. This will have implications where some marketplaces will be revolutionized. Some industries will be revolutionized. Some companies will survive and others won't. It's been estimated since the 1920s, if you look at the Fortune 500 companies, the average company in 1920s used to stay on that Fortune 500 list over 60 years. Now, moving to less than 15 years. And if you look at the top companies in 2000 on that list, roughly 40% of them were no longer around by 2010. No longer on the list. Many of them were still around, but no longer on the list by 2010. So the rate of change is tremendous, and it's only reaching light speed. I want to talk about a few of the technology trends that are driving this transformation, driving this rate of change to approach light speed. One, big data. So we talk about big data. The first thing we talk about is the volume, the quantity, how much data is being created. So this slide says that by next year, 7.9 zettabytes of data will be created. That's roughly equivalent to about 1.8 trillion high-definition DVDs. If you wanted to watch 1.8 trillion high-definition DVDs, it would take you over 260 million years. So that's the volume that's being created. Now, the velocity, or the speed at which it's being created, this is what's tremendous. Eric Schmidt once said, from the dawn of civilization, from the dawn of humankind up until the year 2003, just now we create as much data in 2 days. This slide says 90% of the world's data has been created just in the last 2 years. That's the sheer velocity that we're seeing massive amounts of data being put in the marketplace. Interesting is the varieties of the data. So when we first started talking about big data, we talked about it in the context of social media data. What was happening? People were uploading images. People were going to Twitter and providing text information. This social media data was breaking traditional relational databases and creating new architectures to manage data centers. This transformation is just beginning. What we're seeing now is sensor data being connected to the cloud. New varietals like digital video from security and surveillance. That social media data was just the beginning, and it will only expand. Most importantly, though, is the value. How do we transform businesses and enrich people's lives? And that is where the opportunity lies. Creating value out of this data set. Gartner, I think in 2010 or so, they mentioned that information is the oil of the 21st century. And I really like the oil analogy because to be able to monetize oil, it's very similar to data. First, you've got to locate the valuable oil. You've got to search for the oil, right? Just like data, you've got to be able to locate it. But then you've got to drill down and extract it. Extract that raw oil or that raw data. And then you have to refine that before you can monetize it, before you can sell it as gasoline, right? So that process is critical. But truly, the value of the data is the opportunity set we see with big data. The other trend that I want to talk about is, cloud, and this slide says, is it that old thing? It's really not that old. We first started talking about cloud, nobody knows exactly when, but the summer of 2006 or so. And Google was quoted in the press, I think early August in 2006, starting to talk about the cloud. But what you see here is we're just at the beginning. The first cloud was built out based on social data, search data. But now what we're seeing is clouds being built off on devices, the Internet of Things, embedded devices driving the next major cloud build-out, industrial clouds. This emergence is only beginning, and the trend will only continue. The third thing I want to talk about, security. If you look here on the slide, it says cybercrime is a roughly $1 trillion industry. $1 trillion industry for cybercrime. That's roughly double all the illicit drug trade in the world. So cybercrime is a massive challenge. So it's critical that we secure devices from the end to end to deliver on the value proposition, to be able to transform businesses and enrich lives. As more devices become connected to the cloud, it's absolutely critical that we secure them to deliver on that value proposition. So a massive opportunity and challenge for us is securing those devices. Fourth, the Internet of Things. So the world is in the midst of a massive transformation of all these physical objects, all these isolated endpoint nodes becoming connected to each other and to the cloud. If you look at this slide, what it shows is there's really three critical vectors. there's the device node, the endpoint devices. This is the ambient environment around us. Smarter car, smarter home, smarter clothing, everything around us. How do we make that smarter? The second opportunity set is intelligent systems of systems. How do we create intelligent devices that talk to each other to generate value proposition? For example, modern transportation systems, trafficking control systems. You have an IP camera that realizes there's a traffic accident on the road. Then you have a digital sign that routes directly to that IP camera. That digital sign notifies the drivers that there's a traffic accident on this road upcoming and redirects them to a route to get to their destination. That collaboration between systems of systems, two devices talking to each other without human interaction, saves time, saves money, drives efficiency, transforms businesses, and enriches people's lives. Perhaps most transformational, though, is the end-to-end analytics. What that really means is, as we make these devices more intelligent, we can collect more information. As we collect this information, it transfers through these systems of systems. We've got the opportunity to create new APIs. These new APIs and data sets can deliver new applications and transform businesses and opportunities. And that's how we mine the data and the information in the Internet of Things. So if you look at this slide, what we see is really three distinct marketplaces evolving. We have the mobile marketplace evolving. Then we have the home. And then we have the industrial marketplace evolving. So three distinct marketplaces where we see the evolution of the Internet of Things. Many people say, why now? Compute economics. Moore's law has driven the affordability of computing to the level where we can now embed intelligence, embed connectivity. The second area is really connectivity is growing. Depends on the market research you cite, but connectivity is growing over 100%, 200% growth in connectivity. And what's happening is we're not connecting, to computers. We're connecting to physical objects, the physical world, air conditioning units. We're connecting to everything. So the connectivity is becoming pervasive. And then, why now with the Internet of Things? The third and critical area is big data and analytics. We've now got the database architectures. We now have the architectures to manage the data centers, to deal with this unstructured data that's created from all the sensor data from the Internet of Things. So we have the ecosystem that's ripe for the revolution that is the Internet of Things and the possibilities it brings. At Intel, how long have we been working on the Internet of Things? Well, we can say 33 years ago, Intel were working on 16-bit microcontrollers that was going into the automotive sector. What's new, of course, is these devices become connected, as they interoperate or talk to each other. That's where the true transformation occurs. This slide shows a number of industries, a number of marketplaces that we see as great opportunities to be revolutionized with the Internet of Things. So how big is the opportunity? Well, just next year we'll see 15 billion connected devices, but that will only explode to 2020. We anticipate over 50 billion connected devices. So tremendous growth. Where we see a fantastic opportunity is 85% of systems that are deployed in the market today are unconnected. They're unconnected to the Internet. They don't interoperate with the cloud, and they don't interoperate with each other. Systems like heating, ventilation, air conditioning units, or your refrigerator. These systems aren't connected and have the opportunity to be connected. Just last year, over 500 million new devices were added to the network. 500 million devices added to the network. So at Intel, we think it's critical to accelerate the deployment of the Internet of Things, that we organize all of our assets to help accelerate this Internet of Things deployment. From the endpoint nodes, where we're driving more compute and intelligence, that things category, where we're connecting the physical objects. In many cases, we connect those physical objects with the gateway. The gateway, unlocking that information from that intelligent endpoint, transferring that information across to the network. The network, where we're working on lowering the costs and capital expenditures associated with building out new network infrastructure through things like software-defined networking or network function virtualization. Storing that information in the cloud, which is critical. Having the right cloud architecture, the right database architecture to store that information in the cloud, and delivering new APIs to developers, and generating new software applications for users to help transform businesses and enrich lives. That's the flow. And what we're doing is we're organizing our assets across the Internet of Things and every critical component to accelerate the deployment of solutions in the marketplace. Critical this year to unlock the value of those 85% of systems deployed in the marketplace today that are unconnected, isolated endpoint nodes is it structuring a gateway, bolting on a gateway to these systems, and extracting the information from this gateway across the network to deliver new applications and services. Some of the companies launching gateways, you can see here. Really exciting examples of innovation across the gateways. One company, Vuenomics here. Vuenomics Gateway manages trucking fleets. In the trucking fleets, what happens is it manages driver behavior and driver routes. So for example, the truck driver is driving in third gear and using too much gasoline. The gateway device will recommend he shift into fourth gear. Managing fuel usage, it can manage a better route for that truck driver to take, improving routes. Estimated by Vuenomics that they see savings in the high single digits. This translates across trucking fleets to billions of dollars in savings on gasoline, and potentially could reduce our dependence on fossil fuel, and therefore enriching lives. These type of opportunities we see. One example that's really enriching lives is the Valley Health example. So the Valley Health Medical Center in Virginia, what they're doing is they're using machine-to-machine Internet of Things technology to take a patient who arrives in an ambulance but has like an hour drive to the hospital, take their EKG at the exam if they have a heart attack, use the defibrillator, take that exam, transfer the information back to the hospital, to the doctor, so the doctor can prepare in the cardio lab for the appropriate treatment for that person. So when they arrive, in less than minutes, the patient can get the appropriate care for the heart attack. So that muscle tissue in your heart is critically important. So that time absolutely matters to improve the probability of patient outcomes and really to save and enrich lives. So those are some of the opportunities we see. A company that's recently utilizing these intelligent gateways, these Internet of Things gateways, is Daikin. Many of you probably know Daikin because they're one of the top players in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment, right? So Daikin is bolting on a gateway to their air conditioners. Why? Because they can deliver new services. They can deliver energy efficiency to their customers. What they did is they bolted on this gateway, extracted information from their heating, ventilation, and air conditioning unit, transferred it to the cloud, and then delivered new services like smart energy monitoring services and new services like maintenance services. At Daikin, they talk about things like truck rolls. So for maintenance, how many times does the maintenance truck roll out of the yard? If they can access the device through the gateway, through the cloud, they can see that what exact part is broken on that device. And therefore, the maintenance repair can happen quicker. They have less truck rolls. They send the right part to the right place at the right time, solving the customer pain point. And then if it's a hot summer day, your air conditioner is fixed faster. They have a happy customer. And really, driving transformation also through things like energy management, making sure that we use our trusted natural resources as appropriately as possible. So that's just one example of how these intelligent gateways and the Internet of Things are really driving business transformation and enriching lives. So some of the markets that we're really excited about. One example is the industrial internet. So Intel recently, along with General Electric, Cisco, IBM, and AT&T, founded the Industrial Internet Consortium to drive innovation in the industrial internet. And we're tremendously excited about connecting, as this picture shows, things like jet engines to the internet. So great opportunities to connect, industrial systems to the internet as well. So when I talk about the internet being just in the opening credits, one example is that building that industrial internet as well. Smart cities. We've got the opportunity to manage our cities more effectively, more efficiently, healthier. Intel is really excited about our collaboration with the city of Dublin to make Dublin an intelligent city that we recently announced. Using all that sensor information we can extract through the gateways to drive new services, new applications into smart cities to make better decisions and enrich people's lives. So Intel is investing in the Internet of Things. And we're investing ahead of the curve because we feel this is a tremendous opportunity to deliver value in the marketplace. And some of the examples of new investments we've made is Intel recently, last year, launched our Quark 1000X processor line. We announced our Industrial Internet Consortium, collaborating with GE, General Electric, Cisco, AT&T, and IBM. We also launched our Galileo board, reaching out to the maker community to allow for more innovation on Intel architecture with makers. We've launched the Intel Developers Kit to reach out to developers for the Internet of Things as well. And our Key Alliance program, our ecosystem for the Internet of Things, revamped it. So we now have an Internet of Things advanced ecosystem program as well. So tremendous investment we're doing because we think this is a great opportunity. And computing, we're really moving computing from standalone computers to woven into the fabric of every industry, every vertical, and a tremendous opportunity for us to move forward. So, 谢谢你, thanks for having me. 再见.
谢谢 Mr. Graham. Thank you so much, Mr. Graham. 刚才给我们非常简短，但是非常丰富的演讲啊。那也请容我简单的用中文来回顾一下刚才的几个重点啊。首先 ，Mr. Graham 提到了我们正处于第3次工业革命哈。第一次当然大家知道18世纪蒸汽哈，第二次是19世纪的电力。那我们现在正处于 Internet 所带来的工业革命。Mr. Graham 提到说，其实这改变才刚刚开始哈，但是速度会越来越快。他做了一个有趣的比喻，如果 Internet 是一个电影的话，我们现在才在开场的字幕而已。那至于接下来这部电影怎么演呢？其实就让我们今天所有的开发者朋友一起来塑造。那在接下来巨变的过程之中呢 ，Mr. Graham 提到了4个机会或是4个趋势啊。那第一个当然大家非常非常熟悉，就是 Big Data 哈。那 Big Data 在座可能也熟悉，就是4个 V 啊。第一个当然就是 Volume 啊，这个量是不得了的哈。第二个叫 Velocity， 或是简单一点的词叫 Speed， 就是它量增加的速度又是惊人的哈。第3个叫 Variety， 就是各种不同的种类啊，照片啊，或4G 之后啊，开始有一些 Video 啊。那第4个就是也许是最重要的，就是 value 有这么多资料，我们能从其中抓出什么样的价值所以这4个 V 是他看到的机会，这是第一个 Big Data。那第二点是 Cloud， 那也是我们今天的重点，大家都非常熟悉了。刚才 PPT 有一个小小的字很有趣的，他说到2015年150亿的装置会连上云端大家可以去想象那个场景会有多少的商机在里面所以这是他讲到的第2个趋势第3个趋势叫 Security 那另外一个有趣的统计数字，他说未来这个云端的这个犯罪这当然是比较负面的一个地方未来云端的犯罪会超过现在我们看到的实体这个毒品的犯罪未来云端犯罪它的可能发生的量是现在毒品犯罪的2倍，所以在 security 这方面也有相当多的机会。第4个就是他今天的主题叫 Internet of Things 那 Mr. Graham 也花了一些时间从不同的层面来描述这个物联网将来的机会那第一个他提到3个层面，第一个就是说这些 end device 这些终端的这些装置所产生的机会。第二个是中间这个 control system， 它的用语是 system of systems 这些交通管制的系统所产生的机会。第3个就是这些终端在互通的时候所产生的 data 啊，那这些 data 怎么样去分析，去抓出价值，这是一个机会。那这是他切物联网机会的第一个层面。他切物联网第二个层面，也是呼应我们刚才诸位讲者的层面，他提到了就是家用的机会哈 ，mobile 就是行动的机会。第三个就是 industrial， 就是企业的机会啊，这也呼应了刚才我们吴总在演讲时候的架构哈。那第三个，他也告诉我们说，很大的一个机会是目前有85%的 device 是没有连上云的。那这些他把它叫做 legacy system， 大家应该也熟悉这个字啊，就像什么冷气啊、冰箱啊。那将来这些如果连上云的话，是我们大家的机会。那他最后也举了一些 Intel 的案例哈，比如说他举那个 Valley Health， 这是美国一个医院的案例哈，它有一个系统能够在救护车之中哈，去 monitor 这个心脏病发作病人的 EKG 哈，就是心电图，然后立刻把这个资讯传到云端，然后在医院里面等待的心脏科医师呢，他就可以根据救护车所传来的讯息，在他的手术室里面做一些准备，这样当病人到达医院的第一时间，他就可以给他最迅速的治疗，因为大家知道治疗心脏病，哇，那个是分秒必争的。他举出另外一个例子，也是我们熟悉的品牌，就是大金冷气哈。他说我们现在这些冷气哈，将来连上物联网之后呢，它有一些聪明的监控系统哈，就是如果你这个冷气中有一个零件坏掉了，它可以远端的就监控说到底是哪一个零件坏掉，然后在最节省成本的状况把这个零件给补进去哈。所以这是 Intel 已经成功的一些案例。那最后我们也看到 Miss Grant 列出了很多 Intel 现在的服务啊，那这些都是可以帮助我们今天在座的诸位哈，去接受这个第3次工业革命的挑战哈，然后创造那个美好的 Internet 的这部电影哈，所以也谢谢 Intel 的 Mr. Grant 今天跟我们的分享。好，那刚才我们听了国际级的经验，我们今天也请到了几位国内的专家来到我们现场，跟我们进行早上最后一个环节，就是高峰的论坛哈。所以现在我邀请各位贵宾一起跟我用热烈的掌声来欢迎几位啊，我也介绍几位上台。好，首先当然是我们 IDC 台湾的总经理卞志祥卞总，好。接下来我们微软啊开发工具还有平台推广处的总经理刘念真刘博士，有请。好，然后我们工研院巨量资讯研究中心的郑志杰副主任，请。好，我们远从台南上来了成大资工系的特聘教授曾新木曾教授。好，我们当然还要欢迎我们华硕云端的吴汉章总经理再度上台跟我们一起。好，来曾教授要不要请您坐在里面？好。好了，我们再热烈掌声欢迎我们5位贵宾。好，我们接下来有40分钟简短的论坛哈。